10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Rising Coaches Member Spotlight. Today we're joined by our good friend Tyler Slick, GA at Memphis. You see he's rocking the old school Memphis Tiger logo there. I like that hoodie.
That's right. Repping the old school.
Yeah, it looks good, man. How are you?
I'm good, Adam. I'm good. Just we have a game tonight, so just kind of preparing for that. But I'm good.
Who you got tonight?
We play UCF. Yep. So we got them tonight. We played them on Monday, so it's kind of like almost a back to back. We beat them on Monday, so we'll see what we can muster up tonight at home against them again.
Well, good luck, man. I know they're a pretty good team. I think they've been up and down a little bit, but they're talented, right?
Yeah. They've struggled a little bit this year. I know the COVID has kind of hit them pretty hard, but they got a lot of talented guards, pretty good big men. So we won by 25 or 27 on Monday. I don't think it's going to be that easy tonight. So we have to come in focused and ready to go, and we'll see what can happen. But they're definitely a team that can get hot if you let them hang around. And obviously, Coach Dawkins is really good, and so we have to be ready to roll. Otherwise, it'll be a tough one for us tonight.
So you've been at Memphis now, what, like 6 months? You got here right before the season started, right?
Yep, about 6 months.
Okay. Best barbecue spot in Memphis?
Ooh, best barbecue spot. I would say, man, that's tough. I would say either like Central Barbecues or Corky's Barbecue, or probably the best. But and I haven't tried a lot of them. There's a lot of places I haven't tried, but those spots are really good. We've been able to go out to a couple different spots, but it's definitely different than Minneapolis and North Dakota and some different places I've been. The food's a lot different down here, that's for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. All right, well, let's get into that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and like how you got into coaching.
Yeah. So I'm from Prior Lake, Minnesota originally. Grew up, loving sports, loving basketball, loving football. Played throughout high school. I wasn't good enough to play in college, however. Just wasn't the type of athlete to play at the next level. But I knew I wanted to be in sports, and I decided to go to Minnesota State Mankato for my undergrad degree. And there in September, October, I saw a posting for a coaching position, and I thought that'd be fun. I like to coach. I like basketball, and I thought that'd be fun to kind of be involved and continue to kind of grow professionally. So I started coaching at the age of 18 at Janesville Waldorf Pemberton High School. It's in southern Minnesota. Loved my experience there. I got to work with Taylor Posale, who's now the head coach at Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. And I love my experience, and I kind of took a deep dive into coaching and kind of went full in from there. And after that, I was able to get a Division III assistant spot at Bethany Lutheran College there in Mankato, Minnesota. I spent 2 years there, which was phenomenal, and got to meet a lot of really good people. Got to work a lot of different camps, get connected really fast, and learn how to be more of a professional, within the ranks of college and coaching. And that was awesome. And then after that, I was fortunate enough to get a Division II spot at Minnesota State Mankato. I was able to get that, with Coach Morgenthaler and Coach Schott and Coach Garvin at the time. I lived with Coach Monahan, who was the former assistant there before he left and got a Division I assistant job at UW Milwaukee. So I knew his staff really well before getting a job there, and was very fortunate to get on staff to work with those three guys who are unbelievable in what they do, and you can kind of see that within their track record. And then after that, I spent 2 years at North Dakota State College of Science, which is in Wahpeton, North Dakota, a Division I junior college. Unbelievable experience there. We went 51-12 in 2 years, and got to work with a lot of different athletes. Got to help them, academically, on the court, off the court, which is phenomenal. And then the opportunity here at Memphis came. in August, and being able to connect with Cody Topper and Coach Hardaway, and be able to get a position like this was lucky. Is very lucky, but very fortunate, and hopefully the hard work can continue to pay off for what I've been able to do over the last 9-10 years.
Yeah, I love it. I would say probably not as much lucky as it was hard work and being in the right place and being a good person.
Absolutely.
So you've been at really cold places. North Dakota School of Science. We recruited a guy from there, Milos Vranic.
Milos.
And he would tell us about the negative 20, negative 30 degree temperatures and how brutal it was. But you grew up in that, so that was not like a big deal for you.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, Minnesota's cold. It's definitely cold. But when I moved to North Dakota, it was a whole different type of cold. Like they don't have any buildings out there, and it's all flat. And once that cold wind kind of gets blowing in, and it was definitely different. And it's nice to be in an area where it's 30, 40 degrees out right now, so it's not really warm, but there's no snow on the ground, which I've been used to for 26 years of my life. And
yeah, you're probably in shorts in 30, 40 degree weather.
Exactly.
Okay, so you really kind of grinded from like the small college level, high school to small college, but really good basketball. I know Mankato's got a great program. North Dakota, obviously. Talk a little bit about the hoops up there in that region and just coaching at that level, getting your start and your feet under you.
Yeah. So, it was, coaching at the high school level and Division III level was a great experience because you get to do so much. You get to have your hands in so many different areas and pots and get to learn and see what works and see what doesn't work. But when I got to go to Minnesota State Mankato and work for Coach Morgan there, it was a completely different level. They, like you said, they're extremely talented and they've been really good at what they do for 15 years, and they continue that success and being able to just learn how to run a program, how to carry themselves at that level. Coach Morgan there does a great job at motivating the guys and getting guys ready every single day. But he's able to do that because of the personal relationships he has with them and the relationships that he builds off the court. Every week he has personal meetings with the players, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. You maybe talk a little bit about basketball in those meetings, but you talk about life too. And I think that's what is more important than basketball at times. And he does a great job of that. And then at that time you had Coach Garvin, who was there. He was the second assistant there, and then Coach Schott, and those guys are unbelievable in their own right. Coach Schott was an offensive genius, and he did a lot of things offensively that made us very successful that year. I think we ended up going 24-10, made it to the Sweet 16, but we lost to Northern State in the Sweet 16, who ended up losing in the championship game that year at the Division II level. So it was an unbelievable experience to get to a point where you get into the tournament and you get to just experience that type of energy, because we were an 8 seed going into the tournament, so we played number 1 seed, which was Northwest Missouri State. We played them at 3rd place, and we ended up beating them at home in the first round, which was an experience that I'll always keep with me because of just the environment that they had. But you have that experience, and after that, I went to North Dakota State College of Science. And the experience is, although very good, also very different. A lot of people talk about the Juco grind, and there's Juco kids, and junior college is a whole different level and a whole different type of game to it. So we recruited a lot of guys out of the Minneapolis, Minnesota area, which I was familiar with because I knew a lot of people. So we had a lot of talented players, but we did a lot of really good things. We went 51-12 in 2 years. We lost in the region championship game back-to-back years, which was tough. But at the end of the day, it was good basketball, and it's tough because there's a lot of junior colleges programs out there, and some get a lot of love and some don't. But we did a lot of really good things in the 2 years I was there for sure.
Yeah, and in an underrated Juco region.
Absolutely.
obviously Indian Hills gets a lot of love and attention because of all the great success they've had, but
Yeah.
a lot of good teams in that league and in that area.
Yeah, which is crazy because we actually play. You know, we have to play Indian Hills in the district every year if we get to the district championship game, because that's our matchup. So it's tough to imagine having to play, knowing you're most likely going to play Indian Hills. You know, the previous the 2 years before I got there, or 2 years before I got there, NDSCS was able to win 5 straight region championships. They played Indian Hills in the district game 5 straight times and beat them once, I think. You know, so that just kind of tells you how tough it is to get past a quality team like Indian Hills and then, you know, try to get to the national tournament from there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Tyler, let's switch gears just a little bit back to like coaching itself and moving up in the profession. You're grinding away at some small colleges and really good programs and gaining invaluable experience. How are you separating yourself within the profession? How are you standing out and meeting people? Tell us a little bit about that. I know you kind of have worked with some great mentors and done some outside the box type things.
Yeah. So, you know, I was able to learn at a pretty young age, 18 or 19 years old, from Scott Savor, who's an unbelievable, you know, individual, unbelievable human. He's been on the show, been with Rising Coaches for a while, and he does a lot of really good stuff. You know, he's just a different and uncommon type of guy. So being able to learn from Scott and kind of pick his brain over the last, you know, 9 to 10 years, it's really helped me and kind of, you know, formed me to who I am. You know, so that's been huge. I got another mentor, Gannon Baker, who's been obviously awesome to me and you know, teaching me a lot of really good things about, you know, life and basketball and coaching and how to get through this type of profession. But the biggest thing I learned is, you know, you have to like you said, you have to stand out and do stuff differently, right? So, you know, when I was 19 years old, 20 years old, maybe, I changed my conversations. I changed who I talked to. I changed who I hung out with and who I spent my time with. So to this day, and they're not bad people, but I don't talk to anyone from high school, any of my friends. I don't talk to anyone from my undergrad or college days. And again, they're not bad people, but I want the stuff on the top shelf in life, and I want to be around people that have different standards for what they want. You know, so that means you're gonna have to say no to some people in some different things. And I've had to cut a lot of people out of my life, which can be good and bad, but at the end of the day, you know, you only really get one shot at it. And yeah, as you know, in coaching, it's definitely tough. And there's a lot of people that want to be in coaching, you know, so you have to do what you have to try to stand out and do things differently. And then I think the last thing is just being able to build real relationships. You know, there's a ability for people to have relationships, or, you know, there's in coaching that everyone knows everyone, as you know, like everyone says, oh, I know that guy, or that's my guy, or that's my man. Like, that's cool. That's awesome. I know everyone says it, but like, how do you actually have a really good relationship with them? Do you have a real relationship to understand, you know, it's, you know, we can talk about family, or I can bring him something that, you know, that's private that I can talk to him about. You know, I think it's more than just being able to say that's my guy or that's my man. You know, so I think those are the things that I've really honed in on, and then saying no to other individuals in my life. And it's been tough, and I've gotten a lot of flack and a lot of feedback from it. But at the end of the day, this is a profession it's hard, and it's hard to stay in it, and it's even harder to get in it too.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things I want to dive into. First of all, huge shout out to Scott Savor. He is our guy. And he did a lot of great stuff for us and provided so much great content with the Scott Savor Show, which ran strong for several months. He made a lot of believers out of the Rising Coaches community. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You mentioned you changed your conversations, and that's something that he talks about. I've heard him talk about. Go into that. Like, how did your conversations change?
Yeah. I would say they were deeper, you know, more thoughtful. And I think, you know, at times everything is very surface level with the conversations that we have with individuals or people, whether it's asking, you know, how they're doing, or what's going on today, or what are you doing tonight, or what are you doing this weekend, or, I think it just goes deeper. So you dive in and you learn about the individual. You learn about what they like, what they don't like. What they want to get out of life, what motivates them to wake up every day and do what they do. Especially whether it's coaching or whether it's business or life. You have to be able to figure out why people do what they do, and then be able to use that to help them continue to grow and change in life. And then you'll find individuals that want to change and that have a pretty good ability to change their conversation with what they do, but they're not able to say no to not. I'm trying to think of the word I want to use. They're not able to change their habits for what they do. They may change the conversation, but they're still going to hang out with the same people that aren't going to help them get to where they want to be. Whether it's they're drinking or partying or whatever it is, things that aren't going to help them be the best version of themselves. And that's huge. So I think the only way to change a conversation is first to obviously change the habits that you have, and then change the people you hang around, because you're going to be a lot like the individuals you're with. And then the last point of that, I think, is you have to change what you do on a daily basis, right? You can't just wake up and go through the day. You have to have triggers in your day that will help you, remind you of why you're doing this, and how to continually stay different and changing your conversation. So, I woke up at 5:30. I have a gratitude journal I write in every day. I do my daily devotions. I call my mom and dad. I call my sisters. I do that every morning, and then I'm able to, hit reset and be ready for my day, whether it's, doing some different things like habit stacking in the morning when brushing my teeth or getting ready for the day, reaching out to people that I haven't talked to. So you do that on a day-to-day basis every single morning for a year or 2 years or 6 months. You'll eventually start to continue to see that growth, and you'll be able to, have the competition, in a sense, will start to widen from people within the coaching ranks, no matter what the level is.
Yeah, I love it. You've soaked in a lot from Mr. Savor over the years. I love it.
That's right.
What about Gannon Baker? I don't want to. Yeah, hopefully you're good on time. I don't want to just skip over Gannon, because he's another
you're
incredible person.
Yeah.
Very unique. One of the most energetic and inspiring dudes that I've come across in the game. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with him.
Yeah, I met Gannon when I was 19 or 20, maybe 21, and I met him through Scott. So Scott introduced me to him, and then I met Gannon. And at first, I reached out to him, and he was kind of off and on a little bit, and then I continued to bother him. I would hit him up all the time, see if he needed anything. I was essentially, like one of his sons, because I would text him all the time, and I didn't care if he got sick of me. I didn't care what it was. And then eventually, I was able to go down to Florida with him and do some pre-draft workouts. I did some things on the side beforehand to kind of show that I'm a capable and hard worker, and he can trust me. And so I was able to go down to Florida and then do some pre-draft workouts when he was doing those in the summertime. So I did that, and then just kind of built my way into what he does, and in the training realm, and the online coaching stuff, online mentorship stuff. I was able to kind of build into that just by continuing to stay on him and providing help. So a lot of the times I did that, it was just for free. I paid my own ticket to get down to Florida. He would let me stay at his house, which was awesome, with MJ and the kids, and be able to learn every single day, every single night from him and his wife, and was unbelievable. But I was able to continue to get to where I am in my relationship with him. I believe is because I volunteered all my time, and I continued to help that and continue to do that for a lot of individuals. Because if you're really good at what you do, and I believe and want to help, I'm gonna do that for you, because I want to see you to succeed and continues to succeed. But Gannon, he's like you said, he's different. He's special. He wakes up in the morning, I feel like he drinks 5-6 pots of coffee each day, just because he has so much energy, and it never goes away. Whether it's in his training or his mentorship, it never goes away. And That's been really good to see. But I think the biggest thing that I've gained from the relationship with him is had to have been, just the ability to keep it real and be very truthful and transparent with the life side of it, or the coaching side of it, or basketball, or training, or mentorship, which has been phenomenal. And here calling me out if I'm doing something wrong or messing up, and then giving me praise if it's something good. So being able to learn from someone who's done this before, and he's been in this before, and has 20, 30, 31 years of experience in basketball, I think it's invaluable. And I think at times, as young coaches, we tend to try to write our own script, which can be good, but you also have to look at the individuals that did it before you and look at the success and the history that they've had, because usually history will repeat itself if you just pay attention and ask the right questions. And I think that's what I've been able to do with a lot of really good people.
Yeah, awesome, great stuff. Okay, now tell us a little bit about how you got the opportunity at Memphis. The relationships that led to that job, and then we'll get into like what it's been like.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was able to get this position obviously through Coach Hardaway and Coach Topper, but I wouldn't have gotten in contact with them if it wasn't for Gannon Baker. So when I met Gannon when I was 18, 19, 20, and at that time, that's when Cody Topper and Gannon were working together with Elevate in that prep school that they had down in Florida. And I would say probably 2 years, after the prep school thing ended with them, I was able to get in contact with Cody after Gannon. Me and Gannon had been working for a while, and Gannon said Cody's the guy that I have to connect with. And then I met Cody. I never met him in person before August 2020, which is crazy. I just knew him via phone call or via text, and just continued to build a relationship with him over the last 5, 6, 7 years until I got this spot in August. So I was just checking in, seeing how things are going, and building that relationship to know that if an opportunity were to come, and I never mentioned, if you have a spot, I'd love to come. It all just kind of played out where Gannon helped me. Gannon kind of took care of me a little bit, and then having that previous relationship with Cody, and then being able to meet Penny and talk with him and kind of give him my backstory, which was good to help me get this position. So it was a lot of luck, but it was the right people kind of helping me out to get here.
Yeah, well, what I love about your story is that you sought out opportunities in addition to what you were doing full time with your team. You were seeking out opportunities to get to that next level. Hey, let me mentor underneath Scott Savor. Here's an intro to Gannon Baker. Let me bug him until he brings me into what he does, and then you kind of made yourself an invaluable part of what he did, of Gannon's operation, where he's trusts you and relies on you, and that leads to a relationship with Cody Topper, and you do the same thing with Cody, and bam, next thing you know, well, it's not next thing you know, it's over the course, like you said, of 5, 6, 7 years. But it pays off with a GA spot at Memphis. Where you get to wear cool hoodies like that and rock the Nike duffel bag and
exactly
playing big, beautiful arenas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard. Coaching, when you're coaching, especially like trying to, at the beginning, but anytime, it's such a demanding job. It's hard to find time for the extra stuff. But that's kind of to your point earlier, like your habits, and you said you want to, what did you had a good way of saying it. You want the things on the top shelf in life.
Yeah. If you want the things on the top shelf in life.
Yeah, that's what it takes. It takes getting up at 5:30 and budgeting your time to where you can spend a couple hours a day working with a Gannon Baker, or working on yourself or your relationships or whatever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good for you. It's awesome to see how intentional you've been with your work, and to see how the results have followed. That's supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been tough, but at the same time, like you can't just have that microwave mentality. You hear it all the time. Like you have to continue to work, and it's going to pay off one day. And if it doesn't pay off, then then you'll know that too. Like there's no guarantees in life ever. So once you could get to a point where you whether you had enough or you want to keep going, you'll know that. But at the end of the day, like if you don't try to put everything you have in it, you're gonna look back and wish you maybe you would have. So that's something for me. Like if I have to cut people out of my life, I'll play a little cell phone roulette and I'll go through and I'll say, you know what, I haven't talked to you in 6 months. Delete the contact. Which is again no hard feelings, but like this is the profession if you want to be in that you have to really be in, because you can't be in it any other way.
Okay. How was it? Obviously you've been at all the small college levels, been grinding in gyms that seat 1,500, 2,000 people with wooden bleachers or whatever. And now you're at Memphis, one of the biggest, programs. And I guess the fan base is a moot point this year with COVID, but you're in FedEx Forum and or whatever they call it. And, is it, so I guess my question is, did you come to that level? Cause I had a similar background to you a little bit. Like I was at small college levels for a long time, came into my GA position a little bit older than most, at Clemson. And so my question is, did you get there and it was like, wow, this is like next level stuff. I really feel like I'm being pushed and challenged every day. And this is like, this is the highest level of basketball in college. Or did you come in there and you're like, man, all this stuff I've done before. I've just done it at different schools, but there's nothing new about this. It may be more talented dudes and a bigger staff, but what was the reality for you after, getting your feet wet?
Yeah. I mean, I think I do think it's a little bit of a mix of both. More of wow, this is how a big time Division I program is ran. What they do, which I think is unbelievable to see, because you can't replicate that really anywhere at any other level. So being able to be around that, which I think is good, and where it's kind of the same in a sense at different levels is simply just the game of basketball. Just how simple the game is, and the concepts of what you want to do. It's a little bit more sophisticated here, especially on the offensive end. With what Coach Topper likes to do, what Coach Hardaway and Coach JJ and Madlock, what they like to do. But I think at the end of the day, it's a little bit of both, and you try to continue to learn throughout any situation. I think if I ever come into a situation where it's wow, we've done this before, and you don't really take the time to learn or to sit down where you can learn and get better, then I think you're just kind of wasting your time. So I try to look at it from, we may have done this before, but why are they doing it better to where maybe I can improve at the next spot? Or what did I do back then that didn't work that they're doing, that's more effective and more efficient for players or the program, on the court or off the court. So I think you look at that from that point of view, but you have to continue to learn within that. If you stop learning, even if you've done something before at a different school, then you'll be non-existent, as Scott Savory says. You got like dinosaurs. So you got to continue to learn for sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Coach Topper talks offense faster. Like his mind goes faster than anybody I've been around. Have you been able to like catch up? Can you follow? Because sometimes I'll hear him in a clinic or something, and it's great. I learned so much, but at the end of it, I got 20 pages of notes, and I'm like, wait, what? What was this saying? Have you caught up to his speed, or is it still the same?
I'm still trying to catch him. He is an absolute genius. Like I haven't met a single individual in coaching that just has his knowledge. Like we were sitting down the other day and kind of going through the playbook and kind of different actions, after timeout stuff, and what we were looking at, and I told him, I swear he has every single play ever created in the world, like on his phone, like in Dropbox and in his playbook app on Lucio. Like I swear he has every single play ever created, and it's astonishing. Like he can think of any play, pull it up, talk through it, and his memory is like he remembers everything. So it's been unbelievable to see how an individual like Cody how he works. Being him, when he's coaching the G League and the NBA, and as his time here in Memphis, like just being able to kind of see how a professional like him, and then obviously all the others too, it's tremendous.
Talk Penny for a minute before we let you go. What's like his gift as a coach? What does he do best?
Oh man, he is honestly, he's kind of like a unicorn. Like he's gifted in all aspects. Like he's a rare breed. You don't see him a lot. You don't see these type of individuals. Like his ability to, I'm not going to say slow down the game, because it's hard to understand if someone can slow it down just by looking at him. But he can see things on the offensive side, defensive side as a coach that are unbelievable. Being able to break it down to the team, or to the coaching staff, or to GAs or whatever it is. Like he's able to break his stuff down and find things that that other people may miss. So he's really good at that. And then the skill development stuff that we do within the program, he's an absolute genius at it, with his experience in the NBA, his talented playing career, and then obviously his very successful coaching career up to this point. And he's really good with skill development with players one-on-one, trying to get them better, which we do a lot of at night and stuff. So he's phenomenal in a lot of different ways. But I would say skill development, and just being able to see the small details on both sides of the ball.
Do your guys like really grasp like how good he was? How often do like Penny Hardaway highlights get busted out?
Yeah, they don't really get busted all that much, but I don't think there's a true appreciation. I think like I just and maybe for some of them, maybe they watched highlights just because they decided to come here and want to play for him, so they maybe could see. But I don't know if there's that true understanding or knowledge of like, man, this guy was he was different. He was on the the MJ level, and on all the greats that played before my time and stuff like that.
Does he? Do you guys ever play like staff pickup games? Does he still get up and down a little bit, or no?
Yeah, no, we don't play any pickup games. He likes to do a free throw game that he does every day. So he just shoots free throws, and there's you have to swish it, hit the back rim, backboard, and the front rim. So he loves to play that, and he'll get some shots up during practice or like during skill workouts and stuff. When guys are getting water, but he's never, at least from what I've seen, he's not running up and down the floor as of right now.
Yeah, he's had enough injuries in his career. He's probably
yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Tyler, I appreciate you jumping on and sharing your journey with us a little bit. What before leave us with this? What's your best advice or lesson that you've learned throughout your career that you could share with another coach?
Yeah, I would say I think there's two things. Don't ever have a plan for how you think things are going to go, because it's always going to go the opposite way. Like you may want to get to a certain level or be with a certain program, but there's always going to be different adversities in the road to get you to that point. So always stay true to that, and always continue to push forward. And then I think the other thing is the biggest thing is you're not alone in it. You're not alone in it. Like, be able to reach out to other people, have real relationships. There's a lot of people that want to get into coaching, stay into coaching. And the biggest thing is, no one ever made it by themselves. So if you need help, you have to ask for it and get in front of people, the right people to help you. So there's a lot of different advice, a lot of different avenues and things. But those are probably the biggest things to try to do.
Awesome. Well, Tyler, again, thanks for your time, man. It was great catching up. And good luck tonight against the Golden Knights.
That's right. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Take care.
All right.